I think probably the best course of action is to identify the source of the procrastination. Why?
Dang it.
Why
you beat me to it.
Are you procrastinating on this?
All right, guys, we've been wanting to talk about procrastination for a long time, but we've been just putting it off. Oh, man. Yeah, my dad used to tell this dad joke about, I'm a proud member of the Procrastinators Club. The meeting tomorrow has been indefinitely postponed. We haven't met yet, actually. Something like that. And I was like, Dad, you're an idiot. It's a really dumb joke.
And now it's hilarious.
And now it's funny because I'm a dad now. So I'm at the age where dad jokes will make me genuinely chuckle. So, yeah. The 139-year-old dead man, Napoleon Hill, identifies procrastination as the number one reason people fail in their endeavors. It's procrastination. So we could talk a lot about procrastination, or we could talk about how to get over it in a hurry. How do you do that, right? Especially when you're a business owner and it's up to you, because if your kid has procrastinated cleaning their room, you can fix that in a hurry. You can eliminate all other activities until the room is clean. Like, okay, we're done procrastinating now. I gave you a week to clean your room. Now you're going to clean your room. Like, I'm going to stop the procrastination because you don't have a phone, an iPad, a meal, whatever it is, until this room is clean, right? So you can kind of end the procrastination that way by force. And maybe, like we talked about masterminds last week, maybe having masterminds around you is a way to help overcome procrastination, because you've got other people saying, hey, get off your butt, Mike, and get this done. We're depending on you. We're looking at you, man. Get it done. And there's a sense of accountability there. But solo agent, running your own business, how do you beat procrastination?
This is going to be really hard for me to figure out, because I don't know if you know this about me or not, but that is not something I struggle with in any way, shape, or form. Procrastination is not in my vocabulary. It's even to my detriment. Like, I do everything right now. But if it were, and it was something I was struggling with, how would I approach it? I would just do it. No,
just go with the Nike motto. Just do it.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Yeah, that's a tough question to answer, man. I think probably the best course of action is to identify the source of the procrastination. Why?
Dang it!
Why
you beat me to it?
Are you procrastinating on this? And then go from there.
Yeah. So there's two different versions of this for me. One is if I'm talking to myself. Another is if I was coaching somebody. I think asking why is not a great approach for other people. But I think asking like, what is it about this task that you don't want to do? Or what do you feel is the reason that you haven't done this yet? And usually underneath procrastination is a fear. Like, there's a real reason, because they want something more. What do they want more? So if the task at hand is going to produce revenue for you, say, for example, or it's going to actually help you accomplish something that would create a sense of fulfillment and joy in your life, and you're not doing it, what is it that you want more than the thing that you could get if you did it? And once you identify that then you can deal with it, because it's like, it goes back to like the getting in shape, lose weight and getting in shape, right? You may say that you want that, and on some level, you may, on a scale of 1 to 10, you may want it at a 5, a 6. But if you want to watch Netflix and eat pizza, drink a bunch of beer, and have a gallon of ice cream at an 8, or even at a 6.1, and that wins out, and you're putting off doing the things that you know you need to do for your business, and you're doing the things that are just bringing lazy pleasure and immediate pleasure, right? So you got to start to dig at sort of that. And so I think you're dead on with like, identify why. Why are you putting this off? Like, what's really going on there? Why is Netflix and shoveling your face full of a forklift of food and drink what you're doing right now instead of what you say will bring fulfillment? You know, it's like getting honest with yourself about what it is that you're doing. And until you can get honest with yourself, I don't know that you can fix procrastination. You have to be able to identify the source. So many people say they want to do something, but they put off doing it because it's uncomfortable. But it all comes back to fear, right? Mm-hmm. It's uncomfortable for me to have intentional conversations in my business. Well, why? Because you're afraid of being criticized, mm-hmm. right? It comes back to like those foundational fears, like what is it that you're afraid of? Or you have a limiting belief. It may be something where like, well, nobody's going to want to listen to me. I have no experience. So you have a limiting belief about yourself that you have nothing to offer, but that's not true, right? Like you could be believing a lie. So we always say like there's one of two problems, right? I don't remember what episode number it was, but the two problems are going to be a limiting belief or a lack of skill. Mm-hmm. So those limiting beliefs involve fears and other things that are holding you back. But I think you do need people. I raised 4 kids. And I get criticized for saying, or I have been criticized for saying, because I said so, right? Sometimes because I said so is the right answer, mm-hmm. right? Because my 3-year-old doesn't need an explanation. When I say, hey, we're going to take care of our plates, you're going to help me clear your plate and put it in the sink. Why? Because I said so. Right. Like if I give an explanation, like that's like learning to follow from those that are ahead of you is a virtue. It's a value. Mm-hmm. Right. So like you need people who can just look at you and say, knock it off. Right. Like it sounds oversimplified going back to when I asked you, how would you overcome procrastination? You said like, just do it.
Yeah.
That's actually a really overlooked answer. Because it's kind of like, it kind of cuts through all the noise and mm-hmm. we learn in the doing, right? We'll give ourselves our own answer. We'll be staring our own answer in the face by just doing it. And we need other people around us that go, would you just shut up and do it? Like, because I said so. Like, don't dig for the answer. Just do it. And then at least you'll have the benefit of doing it that you can learn from afterward. Like you can get the right thing done and then learn from it as much as you can learn and then do the right thing. So don't underestimate the simplicity of it.
So much of what we talk about is trust the process, right? And like people want a big explanation of that. It's really the whole concept behind trust the process is, hey, just do this until you've done it enough to prove to yourself that it works. That's the entire concept of trusting the process. It has nothing to do with anything other than if you do the work, you will have the success. And once you have the success, you'll believe what we're telling you. And that's the whole concept behind trust the process.
Yeah. You have to get enough faith, even in the presence of fear. You need just enough faith to tip the scales in the favor of faith than fear to just move forward. Right. And then you look back and go, oh, I did it. I progressed. And then the gap is a little bit bigger the next time between faith and fear. And you take a step. You know, it's not going to happen overnight. You don't go, somebody who has lived on default mode that we've talked about, like autopilot, and then they decide they want to do something different in their life. They don't all of a sudden 2 weeks later have sort of like the house that they want and the relationships where they want them and like the investment portfolio that they want to have. It just doesn't happen that way, right?
Right.
It doesn't work that way. it always is a process, right? And you can always make progress. And I think that procrastination very often comes from a place of overthinking, because we want to be, this is me. This is why I procrastinate. I don't procrastinate because I'm lazy. I don't procrastinate because I'm afraid. I procrastinate because I can be a perfectionist, and I overthink. So I can get stuck in sort of like creative avoidance, and then start doing things that make me feel like I'm being productive, but really they're not what can move my business forward. They're just making me feel good, like, oh, I did something, because I don't want to do this thing unless it's perfect. And I'm living in a dream world, because very rarely does that happen, if ever. Like, these are like random strokes of like, wow, like they make documentaries about that stuff. You know, like it shouldn't happen that way. You know, like massive discovery, like it just, a whole plan comes together and boom, it goes as planned. Like that's so rare. But that's my problem. I get paralyzed by overthinking. And so that manifests itself in procrastination and creative avoidance. So I have to like, and that's just a limiting belief. The limiting belief is I can't make progress unless it's perfect. But that's not true. Objectively, progress always has some level of imperfection, because you never arrive. There is no finish line. You can always improve. So, yeah, actually, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, let's just
we
end
solved
this right
procrastination in like less than 20 minutes. I don't know, guys. Any aha moments for you? Put them in the comments. Our videos are getting like maybe 100-ish views on YouTube right now. With this, we're 29 episodes in, and we're just inviting you guys into more engagement on this platform where we're at on YouTube with the videos. We have plans that hopefully we don't procrastinate on too long of adding more content to this channel that would speak to our audience and people in the real estate business. So we want to add more here, and we're just inviting you to help us do that through engagement. So if this added value, tell us what added value. What was the aha moment for you? Drop it in the comments. Share this video up. Subscribe if we earned it. If you're listening, hey, hit the plus button. Follow it. Ratings, reviews. Tell a friend about the podcast. All that stuff. We're in this together, and we appreciate all the support that you guys have given us so far, and we'll continue as we progress. So with that, we'll see you next time.